So recently, there was a court case, that involved Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Binta Nyako, who was the judge of that particular matter, apparently adjourned indefinitely on that matter. There was a whole lot that was revealed by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that since Binta Nyako has recused herself, there's no need that he doesn't believe in the authority of the court to basically try him. And so it goes. We have with us live on Zoom this morning to speak to these issues Mazi Ohuabunwa is a business mogul and a politician, Center for Media and Peace Initiative. Good to have you. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, my friend?
I'm sure you've been following the developments there, but for you, do you think that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was right by stating clearly that he doesn't believe or he doesn't trust the authority of the court to continue his trial in that manner?
Well, I believe that there are certain conventions and a couple of acceptable methods of dispensing justice. If a litigant has doubts as to the neutrality of the arbiter or the judge, or he's not sure that he's going to get a fair justice, one of the rights he has is to request that the case be transferred to another judge. In jurisprudence, we've seen it happen a lot. It has happened in several instances. Cases have been moved from one judge to another judge, one court to another court, but either the chief judge or whoever is in charge of handling the cases. So this is not the first time. And truthfully, Justice Nyako also decided to recuse herself. But now it looks as if the judicial system in Abuja is insisting that Nyako must be the one to handle the case. So this is what I think is the issue. A litigant, in this case, Nnamdi Kanu, has a right to say, I don't have confidence, because they say justice must not only be seen to be done, we must also feel that it is done. So my thinking is that Justice Nyako, who has recused himself, should insist on that. I don't think the chief judge of the High Court should force it, because people don't go to court and they already know that they've lost the case. Then why go to court? Or why subject yourself to the system you know is skewed against you, or you feel is detrimental to your own well-being? So my thinking is that Justice Nyako was right in recusing herself, and now that she's being forced to handle the case, and then she adjourns the case, Diana die. That for me also complicates the whole matter.
All right. Beyond just the recusal that Mazi Nnamdi is claiming, and the fact that, of course, Binta Nyako at some point recused herself, are there any other specific reasons why Mazi doesn't trust Binta Nyako to continue on the matter?
Well, Nnamdi Kanu has his reasons. In fact, in the press conference he gave yesterday, he tried to indicate some of these reasons. One is that he thinks that the court or the management of the judiciary is trying to ask her to do a job which may not be right, so that she can then get a benefit. Nnamdi said her husband and her son are already facing corruption charges. The imputation here is that she's being asked to do this job, and if she does it to the satisfaction of those who are asking her to do the job, then she might, her own relative who have legal cases, they get some reprieve or slap on the cheek or on the wrist. So that is what Nnamdi is inputting. I do not know the veracity or otherwise, but that's what he has said. There may be other reasons which I do not know, but I believe that it's a fundamental human right to request that your case be moved from one court to another, from one judge to another. It has happened severally where justice is dispensed without fear or favor, without bias or discrimination. You are, because that's what they say, the guilty, it's better to set free 100 guilty than to imprison one innocent. That is the way justice system works. It gives benefit of doubt to the accused and be sure that before he's given any judgment, the state has proven beyond all reasonable doubt. If there was any doubt at all, the doubt is in the favor of the accused, and he's usually has to go. So the essence of justice in our system, especially criminal justice, is not to destroy, it's not to deform, it is to correct. And Nnamdi is a citizen of Nigeria, a prominent citizen who has dual citizenship. So I think our country needs to organize this judicial system in a manner that shows that we are a civilized country that will respect the rights of individual citizens. Because if we treat our citizens badly, then what will foreigners do? The other day, Donald Trump was exporting, or how do you say it, discharging people they called illegal immigrants back to their country, deporting them, and they were in chains on their legs and feet. And everybody felt unhappy because they were slaves. I don't know if they're already criminals or some are accused. This is not right. They sent such people to India. India was very angry that this cannot be done to their citizens. The Nigerian Minister of Foreign Affairs also is on record to saying that Nigeria will never allow Nigerian citizens to be so treated. And if that's the way we believe, then why are we not extending the same treatment to a prisoner of conscience, to somebody who is in court, not because he wants something for himself, but he believes he's fighting for a group of people? It is allowed. Self-determination is allowed. You don't force anybody into any relationship that he's not happy and uncomfortable with. If you want to have a relationship with me, we must make it mutually beneficial, mutually satisfactory. That is why I'll be glad to be in that relationship. You can't be treating me like an outsider, discriminate against me. You still force me to be in that relationship. And I can't even shout. I can't even make noise. It's not fair. Let Nigeria bring the best that is in its judicial armamentary and deal with this case and discharge it. It's causing unnecessary diversion, unnecessary heating up of the polity. It is something that can be easily dealt with. The appeal court had discharged this guy. The government of Buhari said it had to be settled legally. He refused political settlement. All the Igbo leadership, governors, Haneze, and everybody had appealed to him. He said it will end in court. Now he went through court to the appeal. Appeal set him free. Then this same government that said they wanted him now went back to court. Does it make sense? Does it show a genuine fair treatment of the citizen? In my opinion, it's not fair. Because what you're doing here is you are radicalizing him and getting more people radicalized when they watch this type of fair treatment. I appeal to Nigerian government to please end this matter, and so that we can deal with some other associated issues from this long incarceration. Thank you.
All right. Do you see Binta Nyako stepping down from this matter? Because right now it's no longer about the judiciary anymore or the judicial process, because many people have said it's more of politics, that Tinubu should just go ahead and do the needful, more like pardoning him or setting him free. But to that extent, do you see that happen? Again, the courts had even released him on bail, but the government under Tinubu, under the last administration, Buhari, never released him. I mean, they were able to prove that there was international rendition, and in that process, the court released him. But up until this moment, he hasn't been released. But I'm just wondering whether you feel that the only way to solve this particular matter is by the president himself going straight and saying, look, he's tired of this matter, and most likely, ask that he be released or maybe pardon him.
My friend, I am really, really surprised. I am nonplussed. I am embarrassed. Our president, the president of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, is known as a Democrat, is known as a fighter, is known as a freedom fighter. He has a reputation for being one of those who fought the military oppression. So I think he should be sympathetic to freedom fighters. He should have empathy to activists. It is so surprising that people are thinking otherwise. I don't want to think otherwise, because I have known the president for many years, right from when he was governor in Lagos State. I served in his transition council, and I related to him and people in his government. He was an epitome. He was a model of activism, of responsible protest and such things. That's what we knew him for. And the belief was that if he came to power, there's going to be an expansion of the space for freedom of speech and freedom of action. That is the expectation of Nigerians. But so far, I don't think he has exercised that expectation the way people will want it. So I am confident that if he pays attention to this, he can resolve this matter. He understands the Nigerian situation. He understands the tensions in the country. He understands what prompted people like Nnamdi Kanu to enter into the protest or the activists, or whatever mode they've entered. Mr. President understands it. And he is in a position to resolve this matter and reconcile everybody. He is the father of everybody, both the good, the bad, and the ugly. And every part of this nation is a constituent part of Nigeria. If any state or any region is not at peace, Nigeria is not at peace. Nigeria must be a holistically peaceful nation that is attractive to investment, for investors to come. What is happening in the Southeast can stop somebody from coming to Nigeria at all, even if his business is going to be not in the Southeast, because it's one whole organic nation. People can move from the Southeast to the other end of the country in one day, both by land and air. So I think the advisors of Mr. President, especially political advisors, need to tell him that this is making a mole, a mountain out of a mole. This is something that can be extinguished overnight. And Mr. Nnamdi Kanu, who haven't learned, all of us have learned lessons in this. He will just take a break, and we look for other forms to continue the protest or agitation, because you can't stop people from agitating from what they believe until you assuage them or comfort them or do what they want. One way or the other, you either assimilate them or comfort them or assuage them or conform to what they're asking for. But we can be done in a manner that is not leading to bloodletting, it's not leading to a stoppage of commercial activities, it will not lead to Nigerians killing fellow Nigerians and such things. We can manage it in a manner that some process lasts. There are people who are protesting for centuries in some areas of the world. It is allowed. What Nigeria needs to do is to convince the likes of Nnamdi Kanu that this is a country that will accommodate everybody, and everybody can be treated fairly and equitably. Everybody can find Nigeria as his own country. And if there are any perceptions of discrimination or injustice, we correct them. I mean, we're human beings. We know when we're being treated fairly. We also know when we're being treated unfairly. It is very visible. And the ill treatment of the Southeast is something everybody knows, over many years, since the war and after. But sometimes it gets better, sometimes it gets worse. Yesterday we were celebrating the Southeast Development Commission, which we think is a positive thing for Ndibo, the Southeast. It's something we're looking for, a coordinating instrument to focus on the development of the Southeast. Many people from the Southeast were at the event yesterday and they were rejoicing in Abuja. That's part of the reason I'm in Abuja too. Those things give positive image of an effort to integrate our region into a wholesome. So I plead with the governor, president, to finish the Kanu'S development ration.
All right. I mean, so many persons would say that, look, these things can be embedded in politics. In fact, some persons have even predicted that he would most likely be released penultimate 2027. I mean, that's maybe the president trying to play a very good politics, given that Peter Obi is actively, going to participate in the 2027 elections. And based on what has happened, he lost so much ground. I'm talking about the president right now in the Southeast. He had no bearing in terms of votes compared to Peter Obi. So the only way to maybe make an inroad into the Southeast is basically releasing him just before the 2027 elections. Do you share that sentiment?
Well, not necessarily, because the president won the election without the Southeast votes, or so to say. Talking about votes in the Southeast. He won the election from outside. Now his president is on saddle. He can still win the election with or without anybody. That's my own thinking. Because if a president who had the odds he had in 2023 crossed those hurdles and the odds and became president, I don't know what will be on his way in 2027 if he wants to retain the office. So, but my point is, he doesn't have to wait for 2027. Nobody knows who will be alive in 2027. Nobody knows what will happen in 2027. Nobody even knows what will happen by the end of 2025. When it is our turn to do good, let's do it today. Let's not wait till tomorrow. His name will be remembered for good now and forever if he does this and removes this blur, this wrinkle, this spot that is this fox that is messing up with the wine. Take away this ake when on the fe. So that if he does it, it will be something that the people of the Southeast, and not only people of the Southeast, there are many Nigerians who understand what Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for. Many other parts of Nigeria are also harboring the same feelings, that they are not very well treated, they are not fairly treated. But I do not support violence. I do not support killing people. But protest and activism is allowed to make your point known. It's a democracy. Even in authoritarian governments, people still protest. People still demand their rights. During the military, we did the same. So it is nothing unusual. The president should write his name in the heart of the Southeasterners, the heart of Nigerians who love freedom, who love fair justice and equity, by releasing Nnamdi Kanu, because the court has already released him. You can't charge a man twice for a case. The appeal court has released him. He should be let go to go. That should end the matter. Government should withdraw this case they put afresh. That will just bring the matter to an end, and everybody will be happy for it.
All right. I want to say a very big thank you, sir, for your time and your insights on this topic. We truly appreciate you, Mazi Ohuabunwa. Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Have a blessed day.
Save Nature TV. News in your pocket.